walking alongside Jesse Jackson makes a man want to say things and make a person want to say things a little bit louder, a little more impactful. So yeah, it was a great event. I enjoyed myself a lot. I learned a lot, seen a lot, and well, tonight I wanted you to hear something that was part of the march. Um, I want to say it was a reaction speech by a man who played the role of Martin Luther King. And when I say he sound like Martin Luther King, he sound like Martin Luther King. And I'm glad I recorded it, and I was glad to be in front of the march, a row behind the foot soldiers, and maybe 5 feet away from Jesse Jackson, and maybe 5 feet the other way, away from Angela Davis's sister. But yeah, I mean, it was great. There was so many people down there. Even General Platt. You know, everybody knows General Platt from American Idol. Pants on the ground. How you gonna dance with your pants on the ground? You know, everybody knows that song. We all thought he made a fool of himself, and he was just seeing an old man, but he wasn't. He actually marched with Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson and so many others during that time. And you know, he has a lot to say. I'll say it for the least. But yeah, I wonder if I have anybody that's listening that either went to the Selma March or lives in Selma or Alabama. So you can, you can tell me your experience, or if you've been before, I would like to know your experience, and I share mine as well. You ask a question, I answer it. But yeah, I want you to hear this march. Well, hear this speech by, oh man, I never got his name, but he played as Malcolm X, preaching in the march, and it was so sweet. But without further ado, I just want to let you hear.
What's good? This the Kid Bossman Bands. You're now listening to the hottest station, WSUT Record Breakers, Simply United Radio. Turn up.
No. That money filled up.
100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on the lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, Negro is still languished in the corners of American society, finds himself in exile in his own land. So we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we have come here to tell America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time Rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering some of the Negroes' legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1965 was not an end, but a beginning. Those who hoped that the Negro needed to blaspheme and would now be content would have a rude awakening if the nation returned to business as usual. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. There's something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongdoing. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hate. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high planes of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. God bless you.
Everybody say,
Now that was the speech by a man who played Martin Luther King in this march. And it spoke volumes, even though it was short, only 3 minutes. Actually longer, only caught 3 minutes of it. But it spoke truth. We do have to come up out the darkness. We're still in the darkness. As little as we want to believe, we're still being enslaved. And you can see it through incarceration, through this job market of ours. We're being enslaved by the awful music, the pre-predictive television, the bad education, and this needs to change. Coming from Selma gave me a new insight on things. Made me start looking at stuff differently. Not that I didn't look at things differently already, but it gave me a big perspective. It's definitely gonna make me grind harder at what I'm doing. And I hope for those that hear this that you too will be a little changed, especially as you start to see the changes in the world. And I understand everybody wants to blame people, and yes, we can, but for only so long. Because once something is repeated, it was start blaming ourselves. But I don't want to get all preachy on you. That's not my job. I'll leave that to Dr. King and Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and all those preachers and pastors out there. I came to give you good music. And like always, I don't fall. And since my voice is still gone for the most part, I won't be doing a lot of talking either. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the record breakers. Independent
No, no. That money filled up, that money filled up. My, what a day, what a day. I strive for a change, for a change. I won't mind my pain, as long as I get what's mine. You can't match my drive, my drive. I got a shorty that matches my fly. Had to pray and grind. That money filled up my drive. Hit snooze on the alarm, go punch the clock. I had me 2 jobs just to avoid the block. I pray to God that I had enough to give me a room and go buy me some food. With POs, you'll get what I owe. Right now it's too cold, I don't have a home. I did what the devil said, you reap what you sow. I won't let the devil win, you gon' lose if you do, you do. Had to work my move, what are you worth to you? Chasing $1 million dreams, I see that I can be so much more. There's so many that I do this for. My, what a day, what a day. I strive for a change, for a change. I won't mind my pain, as long as I get what's mine. They match my drive, my drive. I got a shorty that matches my fly. Had to pray and grind. That money filled up my drive. Money filled up, money filled up. That money filled up my drive. Oh no. Yeah. Who needs ignition when you're self-driven? I keep my chin up, just like a real man. This for my children, this for my brother that keep me going. I know he watching me. As long as I'm breathing, it ain't no stopping me. Me and my brothers just want out these streets. Forgive me, Lord, I have sinned. Keep my money flowing like the wind, the wind. My, what a day, what a day. I strive for a change, for a change. I won't mind my pain, as long as I get what's mine. You can't match my drive, my drive. I got a shorty that matches my fly. Had to pray and grind. That money filled up my drive. That money filled up my drive.
It's good. Like I don't really like to. I really don't like to cuss too much in my rhymes. Yeah. Cause I don't like making radio cuts and LP cuts. All that.
And that's what I be talking about. I don't be wanting people to curse. Like all my music, I gotta edit it.
Yeah, but this one right here, I'm cussing because I'm making a point.
Yeah.